Donald Trump is distorting his past with Jeffrey Epstein, trying to obscure the truth with contradictory statements. On the one hand, he says, "I fired him," but on the other hand, he still praises him years later. We'll get into the details now, but before that, could you leave a like on the video? Thank you.
It's really great. The whole thing is a scam. It's a scam set up by the Democrats, and they love talking about it. But I would like to see people exposed.
Do people want you to be exposed, Trump? Then why have dozens of files about you remained closed until now? Is this the expose me but don't touch me policy? Look, it's the same story every time. If they had anything on me, they would have revealed it closer to the election. No. Does he think this is a defense? Trump's logic is this: if it hasn't been revealed, it doesn't exist. If I haven't confessed to it, it didn't happen. But we all know that, especially in politics, the things that aren't revealed are usually the most feared things. Do you think someone might really be protecting Trump? Write your comments. By the way, friends, if you haven't liked the video yet, don't forget to like it and subscribe.
That might be bad, and we'll see how that all works out. But it's getting to be very old news. You know, if they had anything, they would have done it the week before the election because they were losing by a lot. If they had anything, they would have done it. They controlled the file. The Democrats controlled it. Comey and all this, sleazebags, every one of them that you read about all the time. And I guess they've got some problems now having to do with yet a different scandal, very big one. But they control that file. So I would think that if they would have had something in the file, they would have released it about a week before the election, maybe 2 weeks, right, Brian?
Oh, yes, he's passing the buck to Brian, too. Who is Brian? No one knows anymore, but it doesn't matter because Trump is using his classic tactic here. Blame someone else, then slowly push them under the bus. Comey, the FBI, the files, they're all part of a deep state scenario. But this excuse is getting old. People aren't questioning the FBI or any other institution. They're questioning Trump's own contradictions. Think about it. Someone who was close to Epstein for years now says, "I actually hated him." Really? Then why did you call Epstein a lot of fun in 2002? So he's fun, but he uses young girls? It's like a joke. But we've been governed by jokes like this.
That this Epstein scandal is not going away for Donald Trump. One of them is this: he and his administration keep behaving every day like they have something to hide. I mean, Trump himself cannot keep his story straight about Jeffrey Epstein. And the more he talks about it, the worse it seems to get. In his attempt to spin another version of how he broke up with the late child sex trafficker, Donald Trump said something truly disturbing about one of Epstein's victims.
That's such old history. Very easy to explain, but I don't want to waste your time by explaining it. But for years, I wouldn't talk to Jeffrey Epstein. I wouldn't talk because he did something that was inappropriate. He hired help. And I said, don't ever do that again.
Are you serious? Is that really the reason someone would break ties with someone like Epstein? He stole my spa employee. For Trump, the issue is not the exploitation of a young girl. It's a spa service. This is the ultimate expression of a lack of empathy. When I hear these words, I think, for Trump, people are just assets, employees, gains, losses, but never human beings. The trauma Virginia Giuffre experienced is just a lost employee in Trump's narrative. How low can we go? Do you think Trump really doesn't understand the seriousness of the situation, or is he just putting on an act?
He stole people that work for me. I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again, and I threw him out of the place, persona non grata. I threw him out, and that was it. I'm glad I did, if you want to know the truth.
So that was Trump yesterday at his Scotland golf resort, which, by the way, he's promoting flying there on the taxpayer dime, saying he stole people that worked for me. Did he really mean that? Today we learned the answer was yes.
People were taken out of the spa, hired by him. In other words, gone. And other people would come and complain, this guy is taking people from the spa. I didn't know that. And then when I heard about it, I told him, I said, listen, we don't want you taking our people, whether it was spa or not spa. I don't want him taking people. And he was fine. And then not too long after that, he did it again, and I said, out of here.
That was audio that we got from Air Force One. We had only the audio. Spa or not spa? Don't take my people.
Spa or no spa? Seriously? This man is really the president of the United States. Trump's rhetoric is so superficial that it almost parodies the tragedy. Talking about Epstein's years-long abuse network from the perspective of employee theft? This is either a very deliberate evasion tactic or a serious disconnect from reality. So either he's treating us like fools or he's deceiving himself. The fact that he's still playing the "I'm the victim" card in such a complex, such a dirty situation is making me sick. Do you think his lawyers are drafting these statements, or is he just improvising nonsense?
So Donald Trump now says that he ejected the world's most notorious trafficker and abuser of minor women and girls from his life because the guy kept stealing his spa workers. You split up the friendship 15 years because he was grooming and recruiting your staff to go abuse them, but you didn't do anything about it? It's a very strange thing to say. It's also a narrative that, like so much with Trump, has just this little kernel of truth buried inside it.
Virginia Roberts was working in the spa at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach when British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell introduced her to multimillionaire Jeffrey Epstein.
The training started immediately. I mean, it was everything down to how to give a blowjob, how to be quiet, be subservient, give Jeffrey what he wants.
That woman, who later changed her name to Virginia Giuffre, was 16 when she was indeed recruited from Mar-a-Lago by Maxwell, not Epstein.
Virginia Giuffre. She was not just a victim. She was a warrior. She was a woman who broke free from Epstein's chains and sought justice in courtrooms. Trump, however, remembers this woman as an employee. Can a person diminish another person's life this much? Trump's indifference when talking about Giuffre is actually a summary of the entire system. When women speak out, especially poor and powerless women, the system turns a deaf ear. And at the top, there is a man who speaks the most but listens the least, Donald J. Trump. Friends, what do you think about this? How can the voices of women like Giuffre be heard more?
And after breaking free of Epstein, she became a really outspoken advocate for her fellow victims. She led them in multiple lawsuits. Giuffre died by suicide earlier this year. So was she who Trump was talking about?
Mr. President, did one of those stolen, persons, that include Virginia Giuffre?
I don't know. I think she worked at the spa. I think so. I think that was one of the people. Yeah. He stole her.
Yep, he stole her. Definitely.
Yeah, he stole her. Definitely. Do you know what that means? It's not a confession, it's a statement of shame. One man is systematically abusing a young girl, and the other man says, "He stole my employee." What a cold-hearted, disgusting perspective. There is a human tragedy here, and Trump is treating it like personnel management. And then he goes out and says, "They're accusing us of lying." No, this is no longer a lie. This is the scream of silence that is now on record. What do you think Trump was really thinking when he said that? Did he really care?
The worst thing that Jeffrey Epstein did was hire someone away from Donald Trump. That is Donald Trump referring to the teenage sexual assault victim recruited from his club by Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. He stole her. And so that's why the two men stopped hanging out. Well, actually, probably not. Since we've got actual timestamps on all this. Virginia Giuffre left Mar-a-Lago with Ghislaine Maxwell in the year 2000. Trump was still socializing with Epstein long after that. In fact, it was just 2 years later, after Giuffre was recruited out of the spa, when Trump told New York Magazine in 2002 that Jeff is a, quote, terrific guy, a lot of fun to be with. It is even said he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. It was 3 years later, in 2003, that Trump would reportedly send a birthday letter scribbled inside the hand-drawn outline of a naked woman, a letter that said, "We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Enigmas never age. May every day be another wonderful secret." It's just Trump constantly shifting between multiple accounts that don't add up. I mean, remember this, okay? In Trump's first term, it was widely reported that Epstein and the future president fell in 2004 after they ended up in a bidding war over an oceanfront Palm Beach mansion.
Here is one of the most striking moments. 2003. Trump sends Epstein a card with a naked woman drawn on it. On it are the words, "Enigmas never age." This sentence alone is dark. What remained mysterious, Donald? What never aged? The victims? The silence? Or the impunity of the perpetrators? Doesn't it bother you that this man somehow manages to escape every scandal? Personally, I'm not just angry anymore, I'm tired. But this tiredness should not silence us. We are tired, but we will still speak out. Friends, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. These stories need to be shared with more people. The truth can be painful, but it heals.